Hello everyone, my name is Ramsha and today I am with the Dean of TMUC, Ma'am Amna Salik. Hello ma'am, thank you so much for joining us today. It's great having you here.
Hi Ramsha, thank you so much. I'm really excited to have this opportunity and to talk to all of you.
Ma'am. We're very glad to have you. We're very excited to get to have a listen into your insights. It's very important for us as an organization, I believe, and as well as for our students, for them to know that there's somebody supporting them, standing behind them through the whole journey. So we're really thankful and grateful that you're here today.
Fabulous, thank you.
All right, ma'am. So I really wanted to ask you, what exactly is it that inspired you to take up a leadership role in higher education, and what exactly is your vision for TMUC?
So I think I'd like to start by talking about my vision for TMUC, and that's about empowering students to be global change makers. And I think, and that is what inspires me as well. And it's that feeling, when you see the graduates walking up that stage, graduation stage, it really brings me to tears, and I can't stop smiling. It's that passion and drive. It's that passion and drive, and to be honest, it's contagious. From our CEO and founder, Dr. 𝐏𝐨𝐝𝐿 �Mushtaaq.
A lot of energy.
Very passionate.
A lot of energy.
A lot of energy. A lot of passion, and sort of makes us all motivated, and we trickles down.
Yes, and I think recently there's been a lot of use of the word synergy as well.
Absolutely.
In our organization itself, and it's something that needs to be highlighted. And ma'am, where do you see? So it's a lot of strong leadership that's there. There are big visions that exist within it. What is the end product that you see for TMUC? Of course, it's never ending, but where do you see this going eventually?
Well, we are the leading T&E provider in Pakistan.
Yes.
Right? And, we have more than 50% of the market share. And that is on the back of a legacy of, 3 decades or more of, our K-12 education.
Yes.
And TMUC itself, we started back in 2011. I mean, this campus started in 2014.
Yes.
And what a journey. We are now, sort of operating in 8 campuses.
Yes.
And there is such a lot that needs to be done, and such a lot of creativity and energy and passion and action that is there when we talk about all the multidisciplinary options that we have for our students, like be it through the School of Law, School of Computing, School of Professional Accountancy, Art and Design. Am I forgetting anyone? Business management, social sciences, School of Education, so it's a very holistic, well-rounded brand,
Certainly,
and what we're trying to really do is help our students succeed, so that, they're ready, they're future ready, and, they have the skills, the employability skills for the place of work.
And I think this is very important to focus on. I think in today's world, at times students also lose sight that, education itself, yes, it's your biggest tool and it will remain that way.
Yeah.
But at times it's a toolbox. It's not just one skill or one tool that you have, and you need to build on it. So for this, I would there's a follow-up question, which is do you think that TMUC fosters that type of environment to be able to cater to all the different type of skill sets that are so important when you're going out into the market world? You need to be employable at the end of the day. Having a degree is no good if you're not going to be able to push yourself forward and say, no, I'm different. I'm different than the rest. And this is what I bring to the table.
And I think that is just picking up on that, and that's a very good question. You see, and I think that's what sets us apart as well, as a provider, as an institution, that, we sort of work on providing that holistic experience to our students. So whatever program or, whatever background or whatever your start point is, there are multiple opportunities for you to be able to engage in. So, there's opportunity for you to be part of student agency and advocacy through our student councils, through our our different clubs and
Societies, yes.
And then, there is a very good balance of, social extracurricular engagement for students on campus, as well as the academics, which is, through, it's extended, obviously, not just through the core academic teaching and delivery, but, through symposiums, through TMUC talks, through TMUC Accelerate, where we actually work with students on building their portfolios, learning how to present, how to communicate, how to sort of, sell yourself as a brand, because every student, every individual is a brand,
exactly.
And it's not just that we are helping students so that they can be employed. I think what we pride ourselves is that we are creating employers. So, entrepreneurship, innovation, all of that is very, very core to our entire curriculum and the setup and the kind of facilities that we've created here for our students.
Certainly. That's very true, ma'am. I think recently we've had the Startup Symposium where we've come across such amazing ideas.
It was brilliant. It was mind-blowing. And, the kind of ideas that the students came up with, if we started turning them into real businesses and, sort of encourage more students to engage in those, it would be fantastic.
I think one thing that has to be highlighted is that more than anything, TMUC really gives you the courage as well as the, the tools that you need to be able to just bring your dreams to be reality, really. If you want to go into AI, if you want to go into culinary, if you want to go into fashion, it's there's a vision that exists. And certainly you're absolutely right to say, because every person is a brand, and I think we as a part of the organization that exists as TMUC have really learned this from Faisal Mushtaq. He himself has projected himself to be a brand, and it's something that he's drilled in all of us.
Absolutely. And you see, it's also that his accessibility.
Yes.
So, when he comes and he speaks to, he's such an engaging speaker.
Very true.
And I think that's the kind of, sort of skill set that we want each of our students to resonate and to embrace. And that's the kind of, I think competence we want our students to develop as well, and it's really important. If you look at, you remember the Global Entrepreneurship Week that we had.
Very, very
It was really busy. Very busy. But it was really fabulous to see how students from the computing department, the art and design department, and all of them, they were working together. You could see mixed groups of students working
very
together.
Interesting to see.
And that was the best part, I think.
And I think that's where innovation lies as well, right? You can't be tied up in a tiny box anymore.
Absolutely.
You need to be able to step out of that. The fact that the world is integrating so beautifully now. We have AI working with fashion. We have, computers working with dentistry. It's the just the mix of it all is so beautiful itself.
Absolutely.
And I think just to be able to cater to an environment where you're welcome. You're welcome with your ideas. This is a platform where you can project those ideas. We're here to listen. We're here to guide you. And anything you need on the table, it's there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you see, I think that is one of the fundamentals of adult learning. So, we have a range of programs that we offer, from foundation to our undergrad to our postgrad. And the best thing, and I teach a postgrad program myself, and what really, and I think what each of us as faculty, as staff thrive on, is that instant gratification. When you see, your students, your adult learners responding and making connections to real life examples, bringing in, their challenges and, sort of the peer network, learning from peers.
It's very important.
It's so important.
It's very, very
important. It sort of creates that learning and teaching ecosystem, which sort of promotes that global thinking.
Very true.
Very, very important.
And we do have some very impressive, alumni out there. Some are settled in the UK. There are other people who are settled in the US, and they're doing such amazing things. But now I'd like to ask you, so we've talked about the fact that, we have a very large domain when it comes to offering different courses. If you could come just offer something very new and very fresh as a subject at TMUC, or a degree, what do you think would be a good addition?
Interesting. Futurecraft. Designing for 2050.
2050.
Something like that.
Innovative thinking.
Innovative thinking.
That's so important, I think.
Yeah.
And we do, I think it's very important here to mention the fact that the faculty that we have, they cater to this so much. Whether, it's our HUDs, whether it's our POCs, they really push forward the agenda that, we need innovation. We need entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. And, only recently, and we're very proud of it, that in South Asia, where the case study for Turnitin, and they picked us up because they realized that we were encouraging our students to embrace generative AI, make use of, how to make that a viable resource to enrich their learning. So I think it's that kind of forward thinking, which, all of our faculty have sort of, translated into their classroom practice as well.
Exactly. And I think platforms such as Turnitin are such big safety nets.
Yes.
Even when I was giving my exams, I used to be after Ma'am Humaira, please just give it a go for me really quick. And she'd be like, no, you need to be very safe while doing it. It's your exams, be very careful.
There's a lot of anxieties around that.
And just the accessibility for a student. I know I might be taking up a little bit of time here, but I will give a very big shout out to Sir Hassan Raza and Ma'am Abir. I think for me, these two
there
people
are so many names,
gems.
Ramsha. If we started naming the faculty across the campuses, we have some gems.
We have gems,
and we're very, very lucky.
They're very day night. Whatever the weather is, whatever the season is, they're there for you. Exam season is near or far. Just this, I think for me, the fact that we've been able to create such a beautiful environment where you feel safe, where you feel like you're heard, it is so important to encourage. And I think this is one of the biggest things that attracts you to TMUC. Not every organization is able to give you such a, like a homely feeling. And I think it's something that we all really come back for again and again.
And you're an alumni yourself, Ramsha,
exactly.
So who would know better?
I'm really speaking from the heart.
So I can tell. I can tell, this is coming from here.
It's very, I think for me, this journey itself has been very personal. What are your visions as far as, for example, I'm an alumni. I've come in. Where do you see the alumni of TMUC eventually, flowing into? What industries?
All the industries possible, because, like I said, we have all these disciplines, and I would not want to limit our student body to a specific industry. I think what is just needed is that, they have the kind of ethical leadership skills.
Very important.
And have the ability to be able to transform themselves and, be prepared for an unpredictable future. Everything's very unpredictable. You cannot predict. Nobody imagined that technology will evolve so quickly.
Much and so quickly.
Yes, the way, I'm from that dinosaur age. We used to have those phones, where you had to dial in numbers.
The round.
Yes. To like a mini computer in your hand now. So
exactly. Very true. But again, this is a very important topic that you've just touched. So I think we could all agree that an educational institution is not just about education itself.
It is, absolutely.
It is so important to, foster in and really house those ethical boundaries and that understanding that, equality, diversity is they are issues, very important issues. And these are something that not just need to be discussed, but there's something that needs to be resolved.
Absolutely.
And at a scale where, you're giving those equal opportunities to everyone. Where do you think that TMUC really brings in and bridges this gap that we see in society at times?
So, I think it's also how all of these are knitted together into the campus life, be it, your seminars, be it your campus life, even, chats over in your cafeteria, or hanging around, outside listening to some music, interacting. So it permeates the environment. It permeates the conversations and the themes that are set up.
Right.
So it's really, really important that, we sort of not just talk about these things. You see, any vision has to be lived, has to be felt.
Bilkul.
So it's not about just arranging events and
bringing someone to have
yeah,
a talk.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's about how they're embraced in practice. So it's how are you embodying it as a student, as a faculty, as a staff,
I think that's very important.
Yeah.
It's basically saying practice what you preach.
Absolutely.
And at TMUC, that is, I think, something that we really have a big focus on, whether it's our president, whether it's our CEO, whether it's you yourself, ma'am. Honesty, for example, transparency is something that we focus on a lot.
Very important.
And it trickles down to, for example, our end person that we really focus on is the student themselves, right?
Yeah.
So even our faculty, they're very transparent when it comes to just being like upfront about the students, be it their education, be it their, when you're talking about ethics itself.
Yes.
So I think transparency, honesty, accountability, these are just a very few things that you need to be focusing on.
Absolutely. There are a lot. There is, all of these are fundamentals, you see, and these skills you pick up from your learning environment. They're taught intrinsically.
Very true.
So, that they have to be modeled.
They have to be modeled. They
by
have to
everyone.
be presented every day.
Yes.
If it exists, it's there.
Yes.
So I just have, ma'am, one last question for you. So you've been an amazing part of the leadership here at TMUC. If you had to describe your sense of leadership skills themselves, the style, more importantly, how would you put it? For example, if we're pitching it as, let's say, a movie genre, how would you pitch your leadership style?
I think it will be action.
Action?
Because there's a lot of quick decision
tuck,
making.
tuck, 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 yeah.
Yes, and you work towards goal completion, but also a bit of drama, because I think it requires emotional intelligence and it requires that human level connection.
Very true, yes.
So
certainly.
Actually, I would think of a bit of a comedy as
Comedy
well.
as well.
You need to laugh off. You need to laugh.
Times.
You need to sort of have a blend. So I don't know what job.
Sort of like an all-rounder.
Yeah. But more. I think more action.
Action.
Yeah.
Because you have to get the job done at the end of the day.
Yes,
certainly. All right. Well, thank you so much, ma'am. It was great having you here with us.
Thank you, Ramsha.
And I hope you do come back again soon.
I would love to. It was lovely. Loved the opportunity.
Thank you.
To talk here, and some lovely set of questions.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.